everybody, welcome to my channel. My name's Mel. Thank you so much for joining me today for my June and Whateverthon vlog. So it's actually the 2nd of June today, as is often the way. I didn't film anything yesterday on Wednesday because usually I'm completely knackered on a work day and I don't want to film, but I did start one of my books for June and Whateverthon, which is just here somewhere on a giant pile of books I have to talk to you about. Here we go, which is The Diviners. I have read the first 60 pages and I am enjoying it. But I will say that I think possibly the problem earlier when I read it was that I don't like Evie, the main character, very much. I don't have to like a character in order to like a book, but I just find her kind of annoying. But I've only read 60 pages and I do think that she kind of comes good a bit. But anyway, yeah, so I've started reading that one. So it is Whateverthon this month as well. That is the readathon run by Maddie over at Book Browsing blog. I have filmed my TBR, which is my regular Roll of Reads game, and that was also all the books that I will be reading for Whateverthon. However, I didn't actually tell you what it actually meets when it comes to the bingo board. So I have joined the team TBR Travellers. Each team, I think there are 5 teams. Each team gets their own bingo board. There are overall readathon prompts. There are some non-reading prompts as well, and then there are, I think each bingo board has 4 specific team prompts on their each of their bingo boards. So I've joined, as I said, TBR Travellers. This is the team that is hosted by Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin, Pris from Pris Perusers, and I've Got a Thing for Things is the channel name, and I'm terribly sorry I cannot remember the channel creator's name, but anyway, all of their info is linked down below, as is Maddie's, as will be anyone else that I talk about throughout the month. Throughout the video and month, this being a vlog. But today I wanted to go through the bingo board, which I will put up on the screen. I might actually just move over so that it's got a bit more space, and talk to you about what all the books that I have chosen, how they'll meet the different prompts, and also there are a couple that I haven't actually figured out yet. So I'll go through that as well. My TBR game Roll of Reads video, the one for June, is linked below as well, so you can go and check that out and see how that went. So my TBR game is, all the books on the TBR game are the ones that I'll be focusing on. So there's a couple that I haven't accounted for, a couple of prompts I haven't accounted for through that. So I will still try and meet those, but they won't be as much of a priority because I don't want to incur punishments for July. So I have it all in my phone here, so I'm going to be looking down. So the first book on the pile for June is Heartstopper Volume 1. So this one is a graphic novel, as you guys I'm sure are completely aware of what Heartstopper is by now. It is under 300 pages long, so it meets that prompt. It was recently hauled. I think I got it maybe a week, 2 weeks ago, so it meets that prompt. And it is a host fave. It's one of Gavin's favourite books that he's put on the host faves. So that's that one. And then the next one up we have, oh sorry, I should also say, I think you get extra points on top of, you get all sorts of different ways you can get points. So going through the bingo board, each prompt gets you points, but then also there are other extra ways you can get points. Meeting your own goal gets you points, all sorts of things like that. This is LGBTQIA+, and as it is Pride Month in the UK, where Maddie's from, also in Australia, you get extra points if you read a book that has LGBTQIA+ representation, which Heartstopper definitely does. Moving on. The next book is The Witch King by H.E. Edgman. So this one will meet the prompt of being recently hauled as well. I got this one. This is the most recently hauled book that I have, so meets that one. And then it is a 2021 release, so published in 2021, and that's all I've got for that one, although it's fantasy, so it technically does also meet my favourite genre, which is fantasy, so I can claim it for that as well, which I didn't write down in my phone, but I definitely can claim it for that one, because you can do up to 3 prompts per book, which this one will fit as well. And it is also LGBTQIA+. The protagonist is a non-binary character, I believe. No, that's not true. Transgender, I do apologise. Transgender. So that's that one. Then I have A Reaper at the Gates by Sabah Tahir. So this one is continuing a series prompt. So this is the third book in the Ember in the Ashes series. So it is continuing a series. It meets the prompt A and the etc. because it is A Reaper at the Gates. So it meets that one. And it meets the prompt that has GPS on the cover. So the three hosts of my team, Gavin, Pris, and the other person who I think whose name starts with an S. You have to have GPS somewhere on the cover. So we have G for Gates, P in Reaper, and S on the end of Gates. So that one works for that one as well. And then we have the book that I just said I have already started, which is The Diviners by Libba Bray. This one is a host fave as well. So this is Ashley, who is one of the other team captains, one of her favourite books of all time. So it meets that one as well. And then I've also got it for First Letter, Last Letter, which actually this one could be as well, because what I've paired it up with is a book which I didn't grab. It is still on my shelf. Six of Crows, so it ends in S. Six of Crows starts in it with S. So the idea is that you have to read the book with the last letter that is the same as the next book with the first letter, one after the other. So since I started this one day 1 of the month, I figure that once I finish that, I will pick up Six of Crows. So that's that one. Then I have The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. This is a portal fantasy, so it meets that prompt. It is a TBR vet. I've had this for, I think I've had this for a year and a half now. I'm pretty sure I got this for my birthday from Connor last year. But yeah, I've had it for a while, so it's a TBR vet. And it is an adventure, as far as I know. So it'll meet that one. It'll meet that prompt as well. Next up is Wamira by Mark Brandy. This one will meet the prompt to read a book that has a one-word title. And also this was recently hauled, so it meets this prompt as well. This was a gift from the amazing Tracy, so thank you so much, Tracy. And yeah, it's quite a short one, so I'm very excited to read it. And in fact, it can meet the under 300 pages prompt as well, so that's 3. So that's awesome. Then I have I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. This one is a contemporary young adult. I don't read a huge amount of contemporary young adults, so this will fit the prompt to read a genre I don't read very often, less read genre. Yeah, I don't know that it fits any other prompts, but at least it gets one. Then I have The Bride Test, which is by Helen Huang. That is a book that I'll be reading by audiobook. I've actually already started it today as well. I've read half an hour of 10 hours worth of audiobook. So listen to that when I was out and about this morning. And it is a not very often read genre, because I don't read contemporary super often and I don't read romance very much really. And then it is also a different format because I don't really listen to audiobooks very much at all, so it fits for those two prompts as well. And then, like I said, we have Six of Crows as well, which is like over there, but so it will fit in with favourite genre because fantasy is my favourite genre. It was on a previous TBR. I've put it on a couple of TBRs and just never got to it, so it's been on a previous TBR. And Last Letter, First Letter, so it works for that one as well. So those are all the books that I have chosen through my roll of reads that I'll be prioritising reading. But as you guys have probably noticed, I do still have a couple of prompts that I haven't fulfilled yet. So one is the something colour on the cover. So I believe the idea behind this is that at some point throughout the month, whether it be in your TBR or in a vlog or whatever, you do some kind of colour generator, whether it be colour wheel, whatever, and you then find a book that will fit that colour on the cover, that has that colour on the cover. So I am thinking that what I'm going to do, in fact I might as well do it right now, is I'm going to bring up a colour wheel, and I've got one right here ready to go, and I'm going to spin it, and then I'm going to say whichever of the books that I have here that is that colour, I'll count that, and if not, then I'll have to find a new book. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I will screen record if it'll let me. It's been not wanting me to, but hopefully it'll work. I'll screen record. Which, is it working? It is not working. I'll just have to show you and hope for the best. Okay, so there it is there. And I will press the middle. Pink. All right, let's have a look. Well, I've already got 3 prompts fitting on Heartstopper, although it does have pink on the cover, but that's already got 3. What else? What else? What else? Is there pink? That's not got pink. Nothing else, really, except for 10,000 Rules of January has pink, but then I do have quite a few prompts that I'm not going to get otherwise without using that one. So, I wonder if that... Well, I've already got recently hauled for the Witch King, so what I'll do is I will swap that out with colour on the cover for Heartstopper, because it's pink title and then the pink leaves, etc. And pink around the figures. I don't know if you can see that, but there's pink around the figures. So yeah, that is how we're going to go with that one. And then I have middle grade and poll. So what I'm going to do, by the time you guys see this, I'll have done the poll. So I'm actually going to put it on both my community tab on YouTube and on Twitter. So hopefully this will work out. So I'm going to combine the two. I'm going to do a poll for 3 different middle grade book options and let you guys decide what I'm going to read. Hopefully I will get to it. I honestly don't know if I will, because this TBR is looking chunkier by the minute. But anyway, so like I said, it'll be on this community tab. You will have seen it already, and also on Twitter. If you follow me on there, please do so if you don't and you would like to. Anyway, so the 3 books have been The Boy at the Back of the Class by somebody, Anjali Q. Ralph. This is about a young boy, Ahmet, who is a Syrian refugee, and he moves to England after fleeing the war in Syria. And then after hearing this situation, his classmates in the UK decide that they concoct the greatest idea in the world, a plan to reunite Ahmet with his loved ones. Yeah, so it sounds really lovely. It was a present from Faye from Mystery Date with the Book, so thank you very much, Faye. I haven't got around to reading it yet, so it could also count for TBR Vet, but hopefully, yeah, if you guys choose it, then I will read it. The next one is Frostheart, The Rise of the World Eater by Jamie Littler. This is the final book in the Frostheart trilogy, and I have been meaning to read this for a while. I got this for Christmas from Paige from Pages with Paige, so thank you very much, Paige. And yeah, I just haven't got around to it, although I did try to read it earlier this year for, what was it for? Whateverathon, but it didn't happen. So I'm really hoping that it will happen. So please vote for this one if you, I mean, that's really not helpful because you'll have seen this already. I'm a bit glad this is the first video I'm filming today because apparently I can't talk, but you get the idea. So that is one of the options, have been one of the options. And then the final option is Tilly and the Book Wanderers, Book 1 of Pages & Co. by Anna James. So this one is the first book in the Book Wanderers series. Sorry, I didn't say what this is about. It is about, I think it's like a post-apocalyptic world, potentially supposed to be ours. It's about this boy, Ash, who goes on an epic adventure to save the world, basically. This one is about a girl called Tilly who has the power to wander between different books. I have heard that it's really, really good. I did start it for something a while ago and just didn't have time for whatever reason. It got put aside, so that would be a good one as well. So that is the poll that I will have put up and therefore will have decided and therefore potentially, hopefully, will have read by the time you see this. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, and I'm going to go, but I will check in with you again a bit later, and hopefully the next time you see me I will be making slightly more sense. So yeah. Hello, it is Saturday afternoon and I've just been doing a little bit of journaling and listening to some of The Bride Test by Helen Wong, and I'm honestly kind of bored. I mean, there's nothing in particular about it that's worse than any other. Like, it's just a contemporary romance, so it's just two people talking about two people and their experiences, but I'm not really vibing with it. I'm just kind of bored of it. I'm trying to decide if I should DNF or not. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I just don't know that I really particularly care that much. I mean, I can always come back to it at another time if I'm more in the mood. I'm feeling much more like I just want to DNF things if I don't love them, because I don't see the point in like trying to make myself read something that I'm just not really loving that much. I've listened to 2.5 hours, and it's like 9 hours, so I mean I've listened to like less than a quarter of it, but yeah, I'm just kind of bored of it. I'm just not, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Like I said, I think maybe I'm just not in the mood, or maybe it's because it's an audiobook, I don't know. So I think I'm gonna DNF for the moment. I don't know if I'll come back to it in the month or what I'll do. So that was my audiobook for Roll of Reads. I was going to say let me know in the comments if you think I should choose another audiobook, but that's not really that helpful because you guys won't see this until the month is over. Anyway, I'll have a think about it, but yeah, I'm not going to push myself to read something I'm not particularly loving. The other day I forgot to mention also that I'm reading a picture, or did I mention it? I don't remember, but I'm reading the picture of Dorian Gray because Michelle and I are going to see the play in Melbourne. So I'm going to Melbourne next weekend, which I'm very excited about, and I'm going to go and meet Ellie, which is so exciting. So you'll definitely see that, and yeah, that's awesome. So anyway, it's about 2 o'clock, or it's 1:30, so I think I'm going to go and might have something to eat, and then I'm going to go visit my grandmother, and then I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'll come back, and I've got some more editing to do for my upcoming Heartstopper video, which should go up next Saturday. Hopefully if I get the editing done on time, and I need to edit Wednesday's video as well. So that's probably what I'll do this afternoon once I get back from grandma's, and then yeah, we'll just see how we go. Anyway, I'm gonna go and I will talk to you later. Bye. Hello, it is Sunday afternoon. Rowan and I are about to film a video which you should have seen by the time this goes up, so I will put it in the description below. It is the If I Could Only Keep 10 Books challenge, but I thought that I'd set up the camera ready to go, and before we do that I would film just a little clip for the vlog. So as you guys saw yesterday, I decided to DNF the Kiss Quotient. It's a soft DNF. I may very well come back to it. I just wasn't feeling it at the time. Don't think I'm going to come back to it this month because I have actually decided to substitute that audiobook for a different audiobook, which I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's actually part of a secret TBR. So yeah, that is the decision I made there. Also, I haven't mentioned yet that, well, I did mention I put a poll up on Twitter for the combination of the poll and middle grade for those 2 prompts for Whateverthon, and the one that won was Pages & Co. Tilly and the Book Wanderers, which is the first one of these. I'm quite excited to read this one. But yeah, so I've heard really good things about it. Lots of people really love it, and I'm excited to read it. And hopefully I'll get to it. So that's that. I am this far into the Diviners, 138 pages. I did say the other day that I didn't love Evie as a character. She's growing on me. But I think I'm enjoying it more than I did the first time around, and I do think it's because the hype's died down a little bit, so I can just kind of get into it and not worry about like, oh no, what if I'm missing what all the hype is about? I can just like it for itself, if that makes sense. I don't know if it does make sense, but anyway. Yeah, so I'm enjoying this one. Like I said, I am up to page 138. There are 578 pages, so I'm like a fifth of the way through it. But, you know, it's better than nothing. I'm also reading The Picture of Dorian Gray, which is not on my TBR for the month because I was hoping to get it read last month, but I didn't. I mean, I started it, I think, the last day or the second last day. Anyway, I'm about halfway through Picture of Dorian Gray. I'm really hoping to finish it tomorrow, although I don't know the likelihood of that, to be honest, because I am currently editing Rowan and I'm going to film, and then I'm also currently editing a video that is taking a long time to edit because it is, again, this will have been up already, so why I'm being coy I don't know. It is the Heartstopper React Compare and Contrast video that, like I said, would have been up already, so I'll link it in the comments below, description below. And yeah, I'm splicing in some footage from the show, which is taking ages. Hello, it is Monday afternoon and I'm mostly jumping in to say check out my nails that I just got done today. I think they're really cool. I really like the colours. I basically went and got my nails done because, as I think I mentioned in the last clip, I'm going to Melbourne this weekend and I'm sort of feeling it like it's a bit of a special occasion because we haven't been out of the state for a couple of years, but also because I'm going to see some old friends of mine who I have not seen for a really long time, and I'm also meeting Ellie for the first time in person, so kind of felt like worthy of getting my nails done. But yeah, I hope you like them. Reading. I'm up to page 138 in Diviners, which I think is the same as yesterday, so I haven't read anything extra of that. I read another chapter of The Picture of Dorian Gray. I really am hoping to finish this by Wednesday evening because I don't particularly want to take it with me to Melbourne and I need to finish it, so because we're going to see the play, we'll see how we go. And I am just about to actually sit down now and read these two. Because, well, definitely this one and probably this one as well, because I'm doing another vlog and I have no idea when that will come up, which will feature these, and I haven't yet decided whether it's going to be secret or not, so I'm trying to be coy. But anyway, yeah, so just thought I'd update you, let you know how I'm going, and show you my nails, so I'll talk to you later. Hello, it is just not even 8 o'clock in the morning, and I've come down to the beach. You may be wondering why, which would be a fair enough question given that it's 4 degrees currently and there's snow on the mountain, but I am doing still life drawings with the kids and one of the other art teachers is doing a sea themed thing, so I wanted to tie them together and I've come down to get some seaweed for the kids to draw because that's, yeah, what we've decided to do, what I've decided to do. And I was going to come yesterday afternoon, but it was absolutely pouring with rain, so obviously I wasn't going to do that. So I've come down to the beach before school for 4 degrees. I am a little chilly, but that is okay. I will look for the seaweed. Hopefully I'll find some. I'm not having much luck right now looking where I am, but we'll see what we come up with. And yeah, anyway, just thought I'd update you on my random early morning beach adventure. I know there are people who are watching who may very well be the kind of people that go for early morning walks on the beach even at 4 degrees in the winter. I am not normally one of those people. So this is a slight departure from my normal behaviour, but needs must. Anyway, I will check in with you later.
My hand slipped again. Don't you hate it when that happens?
Hey guys, I'm lying down in my hotel in Melbourne with Michelle.
Hi.
Oh,
hi.
Sorry. And we just checked in. We've been at the DFO down in South Wharf and we just checked into our hotel. We're going to bum around for some amount of time, get some dinner, and then we're going to go and see The Picture of Dorian Gray. So I just wanted to say hello and let you know that that's what we do. Anyway, yeah. Yay, Melbourne. I'm a little bit exhausted because we hired a car and I drove from the airport, which is fine except that Melbourne traffic is a lot more than Hobart traffic. But I'm fine. I'm fine. Anyway, I'll check say that. But I first have to show you the cute little room we're in. It's giant. Oh, just sneakily, that's Michelle's feet. I won't show you all of Michelle. She's also a little tired. And we have us bubbles.
Flushed and sweaty.
We're seeing The Picture of Dorian Gray. Yay! Hello. Wow, we just went and saw The Picture of Dorian Gray and it was amazing. At first I was a little bit uncertain as to what I was going to think of it because it was one of those multimedia things that had big screens and they had one person who was playing all the roles, and some of it had been pre-filmed and there was displayed on the screens, and then some of it was done actually on stage. So the woman that was playing all the roles, they would change costume on stage and then they would film her on stage. and she would be moving around and responding to the things she'd filmed previously as the different characters, and then it was actually really well done. And it was almost like a dance the way she worked with the cameras and the camera people, and there were like 10 camera people, all these different angles, and they had about 4 screens, and you could see different angles, and it was incredibly well done. And her expression was amazing. She was so talented. Like the facial expressions and the voice expressions and all of that was just amazing. It really captured the essence of the story. It was actually, a lot of it was not like a script, it was lifted directly from the book, and so it was this person basically repeating the story from the original. And oh my god, it was like 2 hours, and this woman was doing every role, and it was just, the first thing I said to Michelle, who is on the other side of you, by the way, I haven't just abandoned her. The first thing I said to Michelle when it finished was, oh my god, she must be exhausted. Of course, Michelle thought I said, you must be exhausted. She was like, what, I'm fine. But no, I meant the woman. The first thing I thought of was, she must be so tired. I would have been absolutely knackered. She did it perfectly. So yeah, it was really, really enjoyable, and I'm really glad I read the book first, and yeah, it was amazing. So it is roughly, whoa, we're a professional booktuber here. It is 9:45 just about, and we are on the train. We're waiting for, well, on the train it doesn't leave for another 10 minutes or something. So we'll probably be home back to the hotel just after 10. We're both kind of knackered now because we got up early, and then neither of us slept super well, and then we travelled, and then I drove through the city and got completely freaked out because the indicator and the windscreen wipers are on opposite sides of the car to what I'm used to. So every time I wanted to try and indicate where I was going, I turned the windscreen wipers on, and that just kept freaking me out. And plus it was like crazy Melbourne traffic. So yeah, I'm kind of tired from all that, and plus, you know, we had a big day and we walked around and we did all this sort of stuff. Anyway, so I just thought I'd update you and say how amazing the play was, and I'm gonna go. And yeah, I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. I'm very excited because I'm meeting Ellie tomorrow. Oh my god! So yeah, I will no doubt film myself doing that very thing, and I'll talk to you then. Bye! Guess who I found? Yay! We've been filming this morning, and we are just in eating food, getting some lunch, and then when my friend Michelle gets here, we're going to go book shopping. So, you know, typical BookTube things to do, really. But yeah, it's so exciting. I don't really have anything much else to say, but just wanted to, you know, say, look what I found. Hi, it is about 4:30. We have gotten back to the hotel probably about half an hour ago, and we're just chilling. We had a really nice day, did some book shopping, so you will see the videos Ellie and I post whenever we post them, which I'm not 100% sure, but they'll probably go up before this does anyway. Yeah, so it was a really good day, and now Michelle and I, like I said, are just chilling in the hotel room. She is reading, so I'm being very rude and interrupting. I think I'm going to try reading The Diviners, although I have a suspicion I'm going to fall asleep, but we'll see how we go. Anyway, I just thought that I would let you know how everything's going, and yeah. It's a very nice little club. I will turn you around and show you. Sorry? Yeah. Egg is pink. Look at that. Oh, and we got fries. Michelle also has a delicious looking burger, but it's not pink. No. I don't understand why it's pink, but it looks like a strawberry. Good morning, everybody. This is my coffee for this morning, and Michelle also has her coffee. And this is the coffee. They gave us a little card to tell us what our coffee was. And it sounds really cool, and it's actually really tasty, and I can taste like fruity. When I tasted it, I was like, this tastes weird, kind of fruity. I can genuinely taste like probably the blackberry, I reckon. And I don't think I've ever had coffee that actually tasted like that you can taste the fruity things that they try to. But yeah, it's really, really good. So good morning. It is Saturday morning. And Michelle and I have come back to the same place that we had breakfast yesterday because it was amazing, a really good coffee. And yeah, we are going to go op shopping today, just down near our hotel. And then we are meeting up with some old friends of mine from uni from like my first time around, which all of you will be shocked to learn was like over 15 years ago. I know, I'm an old lady. Anyway, yeah, we're going to have a really good day. We have brought our books with us, so we'll probably spend some time in cafes with coffee reading books. And yeah, that's the plan for the day. We are obviously still in Melbourne having a great time, and we'll check in with you later. Sorry? Oh. Hello, so we have the lovely Morg. Hello. And we have the lovely Michelle. And we have the lovely Naja. Hello. Yeah, that's nice. And yeah, these are all my lovely friends. It is about 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, and I am very excited because I put out my Heartstopper video, which if you have not watched yet is linked below. Go and do that. But I put that up last night and it's almost hit 300 views and I now have 800 subscribers, and Michelle has now banned me from looking at YouTube until 1 o'clock, which is fair because it's not necessary. But I'm very, very, very excited and thank you all very much. And yeah. So this morning we're going to go to some markets and do a little bit of market shopping and just generally have a nice kind of Melbourne-y time. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much for 800 subscribers. It's very exciting, and welcome to the family if you are new. And yeah, I'll check in with you all later. Bye. Hello, I am sitting in the Charles Dickens Tavern in Collins Street in Melbourne. We went to Camberwell Markets this morning and had a wander around, had some breakfast and came back into the city, and we just went to the Acme Centre and we went and saw the History of Moving Pictures exhibition, which was amazing. It was so cool. So it kind of started out with like it talked about shadow puppets and different ways that light and shadow and puppetry and were used to tell stories, and it worked its way through the introduction of like, you know, those things that you spin and it's an optical illusion and just different things like that, and then it moved into like silent films and black and white films and different techniques they used there, and then it went through all the way through into like TikTok and like using social media and filming, you know, home movies, like home online, you know, doing like videos online and all that sort of stuff. And it was just so cool. And there was a massive section on Indigenous Australia film. And yeah, it was so cool. It was so interesting, and I love that it started with like different cultures using light and shadow and different things like that to tell stories. So it wasn't just like, oh yeah, in the Victorian era we started making cameras. Like it went all the way back and talked about every culture doing that, and it was really, really cool. So yeah, and now, like I said, we're in a pub. We're about to have a sit and a drink and read some books. We fly out really early tomorrow, so we're not going to have a big day or anything like that. As you guys saw last night, we had dinner with my friends Morg and Naja, and that was really, really lovely. It was amazing to see them again. I don't think it's been like, I think it's been like 10 years since I've seen them, so it was really, really cool. And yeah, I have the Diviners. I've been carting around the Diviners all day, so I'm going to read the Diviners, and yeah, that's the plan. And now I have my beer. So thank you, Michelle. But yeah, I will
Ask that you move into your seat as quickly as possible.
journey.
Place your smaller personal
It
belongings
is like
underneath the
6
seat in
o'clock in
front
the
of you,
morning, so
and all
we're a little
your larger
tired.
bags,
But
wheels first,
we're on our way
into an
home.
overhead locker. If your seat is
Hello. It is Tuesday and I am home, as you can probably tell. So yeah, I had a lovely weekend in Melbourne and it's great to be home. So yay! So this week is the Because We Can Readathon. This version of the Because We Can Readathon is a very, very chilled out, relaxed version of the readathon. They essentially have 7 reading prompts like they normally do, but 2 of those are read 100 pages and then read 200 pages, and then the third prompt is finish a book. So they're very relaxed, very chilled. They do have creative challenges, or this time they're calling them readathon challenges, and they are also very chilled and relaxed as well. So I'm just going to go through and tell you what I'm going to be reading throughout the week. I did think about making a TBR just for this, but I've only got 2 books and I may only end up reading one of them, so we'll see. But basically, I am up to page 377, which means that I have 200 pages left of The Diviners. Prompt number 1 is to read 100 pages. Prompt number 2 is to read 200 pages. So I can do that and finish a book by reading The Diviners. I really want to finish this. I would love to finish it today, but at the very least I would like to finish it soon. So I think that's definitely doable. If not today, then definitely over the next couple of days. And that would be the first 3 challenges. But the 5th prompt is read a book that's been on your TBR forever. I've actually read this one before, but the series has been on my TBR for quite a while, so I kind of feel like that would be stretching it, but it'd still potentially count if I included this one. Then I have read from your favourite genre. My favourite genre is fantasy. This is, I guess, more of like a paranormal urban fantasy, but I definitely think it falls within fantasy. And read in your preferred format. My preferred format is physical. I'm reading a physical book. However, the 4th prompt is actually to read a book from a new to you author, and I have already read The Diviners, so that doesn't count. So for this one, I initially selected The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. Alex E. Harrow is an author that I've never read from before. This book is 374 pages long, so if I read this book in this week, then I will have read 100 pages, I will have read 200 pages, and I will have finished a book, so it counts for those first 3. It's from an author I've never read from before, so it counts for that one. It is from my favourite genre. It is a portal fantasy, which is actually one of my favourite types of fantasy, so it doubly counts. It is a physical book, which I will be reading physically, so it counts for that as well. And what was the other one that I literally just said? A book that's been on my TBR forever. So I received this from Connor last year on my birthday, so that would be just under 18 months ago. So I think that's quite a long time to be on a TBR. So yeah, so this one counts for everything. So it's just a matter of whether or not I manage to finish this one and read this one. But I kind of figure at the same time, if I finish this one, then I've done the first 3 prompts. And then if I start this, even if I don't finish it, I've still done the rest of the prompts. So yeah, that kind of works. Then there are some, like I said, readathon challenges. We have Show Us What Books You're Reading, which I've just done. Journal a reading live stream, which I am actually going to be joining Meredith from Reading with Merb Sunday evening on her channel. I'll be one of the hosts, so that counts. Make a read with me video. I'm literally about to do that. Don't read, so watch something, game, write, join the teleparty, something like that. Every evening when Rowan and I eat dinner, we usually watch TV and eat dinner, so I think that counts, so I can easily do that. Do some self-care. I mean, reading is self-care. We'll just see how we go there. Show us your reading, snack, drink. Again, I'm about to do that in my Read With Me. And repeat your favourite challenge, which I think should be fairly straightforward, but I just got to figure out which one's my favourite. But yeah, so that's the Because We Can readathon. Like I said, I did think about making a separate TBR, but I decided against it because initially I was just going to read The 10,000 Doors of January, but I haven't finished The Diviners, so there's now 2 books. And I was going to make a separate vlog, but now I've decided just to stick to this one. But yeah, this is one of my favourite readathons. I love it. I love that they've done a chilled out version, and it's just always really fun. So always want to go in it in whatever capacity that is, and this year I kind of felt like I needed to be chilled out, so I'm incredibly glad that it is chilled out. But yeah, what else? Yeah, so I'm nearly finished the Diviners. I am almost finished my audiobook as well, although again, haven't quite decided whether that's going to be a secret or not, so I'm alluding to it. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to go and set up the whole read with me, and I'll talk to you later. It is Thursday evening, and I'm just waiting for some of our dinner to do its thing. It's on the stove. I have a glass of wine, and I thought I'd jump on and tell you that I finally started the book that I decided I would officially be reading for Because We Can Readathon this morning. So I am reading The 10,000 Doors of January. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm only halfway through chapter 2, so I'm only 40 pages in, but yeah, it's well written, it's fun, so yeah, having a good time with that, and yeah, that's really all I wanted to say, so I won't keep you for very long, but yes. I did finish the Diviners last night, so I guess it's not all I want to say. I finished the Diviners last night, so I can officially count 100, 200, and finished a book for Because We Can Readathon, and yeah, it was good. I liked it. It was yeah, it was great. Actually, I really enjoyed it. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go and I'll talk to you later. Oh yeah, there's a cat. Hi everyone, it is the 17th of June, and I just finished listening to the book that I'm reading was reading for my secret TBR, which I think I've decided is not going to be a secret, so basically I'm reading Alice Oseman's books, and I read Solitaire, which is her first published novel, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah, but there's a vlog, so when that comes up, you can watch it. Not 100% sure when that will be, because I'm not 100% sure when I'm going to get to all of the books, but it's in the works, so you will see it when it happens. So anyway, I just finished listening to that, and I am, as you see, snuggled up in bed. Basically, that's because I came in, because Rowan went back to work, so I came into the bedroom because I was listening to it without headphones, and I didn't want to disturb him. And I was intending to go and do a little bit of grocery shopping when I finish the book. But now I'm snuggled up in bed, so we may be doing something else for a little while. Yeah, but anyway, it's Friday. I do need to go grocery shopping because we have my sister and her family coming around for lunch tomorrow, so I need to get stuff for that. But it's just a matter of getting around to doing that. It is only like 2 o'clock in the afternoon though, or 2:30ish. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't actually checked, but around that time. So I've still got a fair bit of time in the afternoon, and in fact, I probably should wait for at least an hour, because all the people picking up their kids from school will be jumping into the shops, so it's probably not the best time to go. But anyway, I'm just kind of rambling at this point, so I'm going to go, but I just wanted to let you know I finished that book, and I'm not sure when I'm going to pick the next of hers up, because I do have quite a bit to read, but I'm reading some of them at least on audio, so anyhow, I guess I'll talk to you all later. Bye! Hello. It is Monday the 20th of June, and yeah, I thought I would update the vlog. So, you know that I finished reading the book that I've now decided I won't be making secret, but I will talk about more detail and everything in the actual other vlog, and that is Solitaire by Alice Oseman. I have also finished the Diviners, which I'm pretty sure I've told you. So, I am now reading, which again I'm pretty sure I told you, this is what happens when you don't edit as you go along, but anyway. But now reading The 10,000 Doors of January. I am fairly close to finishing. I have about 100 and something pages left to go. Really enjoying this one, so yeah, really enjoying this one. As far as the Because We Can Readathon goes, finished the Diviners, and I had 200 pages left, so I read the 100, 200 pages and finished a book. And then this one is a book that from an author I haven't read before, and it is my favourite genre. It's fantasies, specifically portal fantasy, which I really enjoy. Just double checking what else we had there. A book that's been on your TBR for forever, which was this one, because it's been on my TBR for 1.5 years, so that's quite a long time. It is a new to me author, and it's my preferred format because I like to read physically. So that's that one. It's nearly done, but because I read the other two, because I finished the Diviners, that counts for the finishing. But this one would count for everything else because I've read 262 pages. So yeah, there's that. So that's the Because We Can Readathon. I had a great fun time. I did do the Read With Me Readathon challenge, so I will link that in the description below if you want to go and check that out. I did also do one of the prompts is to not read. There are several occasions when I don't read. I don't read every waking moment, but Saturday night I played D&D with some friends, so I counted that as my not reading activity because it was not just, oh, I just didn't read for a bit. It was actually actively, I'm going to go and do this thing. And therefore not read. So played D&D on Saturday night. It was a lot of fun. I almost died once, but I didn't die. So yay! We all almost always die at some point. So we're doing well. Do some self-care throughout the week. I have watched at least one, if not more, episodes of Heartstopper, which I am considering self-care at this point in time. So yeah, I'm counting that, and I did that a few times. So I repeat my favourite challenge. Yeah, I consider Because We Can Readathon a success, even though usually I have put a TBR up as a separate video and I have done the creative challenges, which is usually videos, as separate videos. So this time around, because it's the last minute low-key, I decided to do last minute low-key stuff. So it's all in the one vlog, in June's vlog, and I did the TBR in the vlog as well. So you guys know that it was very low-key and chilled, but I still did it. I still consider it a success. The other day I started listening to Pages & Co., the first book, Tilly and the Book Wanderers by Anna James. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm listening to it on audio. I did do the thing where I fell asleep listening to it the other morning, so I'm going to have to go backwards. So I'm not sure at this point where I'm up to or how much percentage I have read, but I'm enjoying it, and that counts for poll pick and middle grade for the Whateverthon because I did that as a poll pick and you guys picked that one. Yeah, so that's going well. In terms of the actual overall TBR, I have read the Diviners. I've started 10,000 Doors of January, or nearly finished that. I have started, no. I don't think I'm doing very well for my actual roll of reads TBR. But I read Heartstopper, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. It'll be fine. As you can see, I did a little bit of a rearrange of the favourite shelf the other day, partly because we've had new books come in, so these are obviously all the Heartstopper volumes that are currently out, and I love these books not as much as Ron, but I love these books, and I wanted to put some more of his favourites up there. So we have the Patrick Rothfuss Kingkiller Chronicles, and we have the Gentleman Bastards trilogy by Scott Lynch, and of course Heartstopper, and because I'm currently obsessed, as you know, I assume, and Lord of the Rings, of course. So anyway, that's everything. I do also have my best cow friends, if you know you know, having a cup of tea, and I'm going to film some more videos, so just thought I'd check in and say hello and let you know where I'm at, and yeah, I'll talk to you in a little bit. Hey guys, it is Thursday afternoon now, and I finished the 10,000 Doors of January this morning, which I absolutely loved. I thought it was really well written. I thought it was really well paced. I love the concept of it, and just, yeah, all around really, really enjoyed this one. So definitely a high point of the month, I think. Although I feel like I've read quite a few really good books recently, so I'm doing pretty well there. That's it really. I don't have much else to report. I'm still some way through The Witch King, about a third of the way through that one, and haven't listened to any more of, what is it called? Pages & Co. Tilly and the Book Wanderers recently, but I'm still technically listening to it, so I'm sure I'll get there. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to give you a very, very quick update, let you know how I'm going, and I'll talk to you a bit later. Hello. It is Sunday afternoon. I am actually at Rowan's dad's place, and they are off doing some handyman type work, and I'm just hanging out in the lounge room reading Six of Crows. I finally started it. I am, well, not very far into it. I've read 90 pages. and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, really enjoying it so far. I finished The Witch King yesterday morning and loved it. I thought it was fantastic. And yeah, I started this one this morning. So that's where I'm at. So I don't really have much else to tell you, but I just wanted to update you on the fact that I finally started Six of Crows. I say finally. If you haven't been around my channel for very long, you know. I mean, if you have been my channel, if you have been around my channel for a while, you know that I've put this on a bunch of TBRs and just never gotten to it. But if you haven't, then now you do. Anyway, I have to go because we're about to go home. So I have to go and put, shoes on and all that stuff. But I will see you later. Hi. This is actually the 1st of July, so I really should have finished this vlog up yesterday, but I knew I was going to be filming today, so I figured why get the camera out and do all that stuff on 2 days. So, what was the last thing I talked to you about? I think the last thing that I talked to you about was the fact that I started Six of Crows, which I did on Sunday. Monday evening, I actually ended up feeling not 100%, so I took Tuesday off and still wasn't feeling that great on Wednesday, so I took Wednesday off, which meant that I actually did quite a lot of reading over those few days. So, finished Six of Crows. Really enjoyed this one. I do think that it's a lot better than Shadow and Bone, which is the only of the 3 original Grisha trilogy that I've read, but I definitely enjoyed this one. I can see some of the stories of the crows that were in the TV show Shadow and Bone, and the crows were my favourite characters in the TV show, so it kind of fits that I love this book. Yeah, so that was a really good book. And then I started and finished this book on Wednesday. So this is Waimea. This is an Australian book set in Waimea, which is, I don't actually know where it is. I think it is part of the Riverina area down in southern New South Wales, northern Victoria. So this is a sort of domestic thriller suspense book, and it was really good, and I really enjoyed this one as well. I started earlier in the month listening to Pages & Co. Tilly and the Book Wanderers by Anna James, which I think I've mentioned yesterday morning. Yes, yesterday morning. I decided to pick up the physical book and finish it off physically, and I enjoyed this one as well. It was lots of fun, and yeah, a good time. So that is my month of June. I'm gonna go because this vlog is very long, so I will go. But before I do, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Absolutely love it if you would subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up. All of my social media details are listed below, so you can go follow me over there if you want to. And if you've managed to stick around this long, then please give me some kind of smiley face to say that you're happy to be here. Anyway, like I said, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.